guys, welcome back to another video. Well, this week definitely started with a bang, and I don't mean a good one.
Yeah, more like a bang strong enough to give you a concussion.
First, there was the 2-day wait to get unloaded. Then there was the inexplicable, crazy mess to get loaded on another load. Then there was the very unpleasant exchange with a broker. And finally, this all ended with a flat steer tire on one of our trucks. Welcome to the trucking industry, folks. So, because I love sharing everything with you folks, including my happiness, my good moments, and my misery, today we're gonna focus on problems you might face on the road and how to deal with them. Ready? Let's go! Number 1, truck breakdowns. One of the most amazing things about this industry is that there's one thing that never fails. And that, my friends, is
Murphy's Law.
If a truck is bound to break down, it will make sure to break down when you're on a load and tight on time. Now, can you prevent breakdowns? Well, yes and no. If you have a good preventative maintenance program in place and you're doing your scheduled maintenance on your truck, then that will help you avoid getting stuck in a sticky situation on the side of the road. However, sometimes things happen. For example, this week we got a nail in our steer tire and the tire went kaput. And of course, according to the wonderful law of Murphy himself, may he rot in hell, most repair shops do not want to patch up a steer tire due to liability, even though it's perfectly legal to do so. So we had to replace it. But hey, replacing one steer tire is not good enough because now there's a difference in tread depth. So if you don't replace the other steer tire, your truck ends up looking like this. And if you don't understand what this means, it means it's crooked. So we had to replace both steer tires. Anyway, when things like this happen, you need a quick fix, and there are 2 options. Option number 1 is to drive your truck to a nearby service center, and this is only an option if your truck can be safely operated on the road. If you're new to this industry, Travel Centers America, also known as TA or Love's Truck Care, is pretty much everywhere across the United States, and they can fix any common issues with the truck. Now, when I say common issues, I mean things like a leaking coolant, brake pads, oil leaks, and so on. From my experience, if you have an electrical issue with your truck, TA will not even be able to diagnose where that electrical problem is coming from, so you would be better off actually going to your truck-specific service center. And this is why we have Freightliners only, because those maintenance centers specifically designed for Freightliners are everywhere. Option 2. If you have an issue where you cannot actually move your truck to get it fixed, like for example, a stupid nail got into your stupid steer tire, then you have to call roadside assistance to help you out and get that truck moving again. Now, if you're lucky, then your truck will decide to die in an area where there are living people and businesses around. However, if you're unlucky, your truck will decide to terminate its existence on US 93. Also known as Nowheresville, Nevada.
I may be holding a little bit of a grudge against this week.
Now, in the lucky scenario, most likely roadside assistance will come out within a few hours. In the unlucky scenario, it can take a day or so. So how do you find roadside service? Well, we use an app called Trucker Path. Basically, it's a routing app where you can find a lot of different things, including service centers that provide roadside assistance on your way. And I'm going to attach a little screenshot video right here where you can see that all those little black dots are those service centers on the way. However, if you're stuck in the middle of nowhere like US 93, then Trucker Path might not be very useful to you. So I use an app called Fix, and I'm attaching a little screenshot right here of what it looks like. So every time we get stuck somewhere remote, I call Fix and they find a technician that is ready to come out to our remote location, and they have been amazing. So definitely keep their number and this app handy. Number 2, unexpected road closures. Anything unexpected is annoying, and it's extremely frustrating when you're driving in peace, minding your own business, and all of a sudden you see a huge road closed sign and there is no detour to be found. Now, usually if you use something like Google Maps, you will be able to see any existing road closures on your way, and then you can pre-plan and change your route to take another way towards your destination and avoid all those road closures. But unfortunately, these road closures sometimes happen unexpectedly. So let me give you some insight. All right, so I had to get a little bit creative. Anyway, just remember, in the winter time, the I-80, which is right here, that goes through all of Wyoming, gets closed almost every other day because of strong winds. There are more times than I can count when we were driving on the I-80 from Utah to somewhere like Missouri and got stuck somewhere right here for 2 days because there was a weather problem. So if you can take a different road than the I-80 to your destination, then do it, especially in the winter time. Then there's also the I-70, which goes through Colorado and Denver, Colorado, that gets shut down in the winter time or when there's rain. When there's rain, there are a lot of mudslides and it becomes extremely unsafe to drive. And in the winter, of course, there are a ton of winter storms and driving through all those passes can be very dangerous. So they shut down the road. So again, if you have a way around the I-70 or I-80 in the wintertime, take it.
God bless Mother Nature and her vindictive soul.
I'll give you an example. I have learned that if you're picking up a load from Los Angeles, California and going to, let's say, Chicago, Illinois, the GPS will take you some way like this through the I-70 all the way to Chicago. But if you take the I-40 instead, going like this through Texas to Chicago, then you add 5 miles. It's 5 miles more, but it's also peace of mind. And this road is super straight and it's amazing to drive on. Now, if you get stuck in an unexpected road closure and you have no idea what's going on or when the road will reopen, I really suggest downloading an app called Waze. It's completely free. And I'm attaching a little screenshot video right here. Now, Waze is not actually made for trucks, but it's a system where other drivers on the road can report incidents. Like, for example, there is a crash ahead, or there is a car on the shoulder, or maybe there's a police officer hiding somewhere. Yes, it even reports that. Or that there is road work. And the best part is that these people who are reporting these incidents can also leave comments. For example, they can say something like, oh, there's a huge crash here. It will take hours to clean out. So you know that you're going to be stuck for hours on that road closure. Or it can be something like, oh, there's a police officer hiding on the shoulder. And that way you know that there's a police officer hiding on the shoulder. And that way you know exactly what is going on around you as well as in front of you, and you can be better prepared, give the broker a better estimated time of arrival, and just keep everyone updated. Number 3, hours of service and the lack of parking. As you already probably know, hours of service exists to limit the driver's work and drive time, and this is done for safety. Unfortunately, a lot of the time it actually has the opposite effect and drivers end up driving fatigued, tired, and it causes a lot of problems. But that's the topic for a different video. The thing is, you have to be always aware of your hours of service as well as your surroundings at the same time. And let me give you an example. Now, we had a situation where the driver had 3 hours on his clock to drive, but he was in Southern California. Now, if you don't know Southern California, basically there are traffic jams everywhere that can take hours and hours to pass, and there's absolutely no truck parking around. So what happened? He ran out of hours and he couldn't find a place to park. And the worst part, parking on the off-ramp or the shoulder is illegal and unforgivable here, so he couldn't even do that. So again, I will mention Trucker Path because this app will actually show you all the truck stops on the way. And I'm going to move here so I can attach that screenshot. And the best part is when you click on one of those places on your way, you can actually see whether it's full or whether there are spots left. So it's really handy and I really recommend it to everyone in this industry. Now, there are a ton of other issues on the road, like out of service orders or accidents. But I wanted to focus this video on the more common problems that you will face, sometimes on a daily basis. So I hope you found this video helpful, and I really encourage you guys to check out these apps I was talking about. I am not sponsored by them, but I am a huge fan of them. Anyway, stay safe out there, and I will see you in the next video.